Hajjaj said, where are the lovers of Abu Turab? He caught Kumail, he killed Kumail, 21 years after Karbala. He caught Qambar, he killed Qambar, 21 years after Karbala. He then caught Saeed bin Jubayr. When he caught Saeed bin Jubayr, the conversation that takes place is a phenomenal conversation. Why? Because you'd think you're in front of a man like Hajjaj, you'd give up all your principles, everything you stand for. Wallah, he stood up in front of him with such confidence. Hajjaj looked at him. He said, you're Saeed bin Jubayr? He said, yes, my name is Saeed bin Jubayr. He said, no, you are Shaqy bin Kusair. Saeed means what in English? Happy, isn't it? Shaqy means unhappy. Jubayr means unbroken. Kusair means broken. He looked at him, he said, what's your name? He said, Saeed bin Jubayr. He said, no, your name is Shaqy bin Kusair. Saeed bin Jubayr looked at me and said, that's what my mother named me. He said, your mother's wretched and you're wretched like her. A person who hasn't memorized the Quran would reply back with rudeness, correct? No. Quran says, invite to the way of your Lord with wisdom. He looked at him and said, Allah knows about my mother and Allah has knowledge of the unseen. He looked at him at this moment, then he said to him, I've got all this gold and this silver, what do you have? He said, listen, if I thought your gold and silver would save me, I would worship you, not the Lord who gave you all of this. He looked at him. He said, what's your final wish before you die? He looked at him and he said, all I want to do is pray 2 rak'ahs thanking Allah for the gift He gave me of memorizing the Quran. That's it. That I can face Allah on the Day of Judgment and I can say, I am one of the memorizers. I never abandoned your book. I didn't just learn Kawthar and Fatiha and Ikhlas and Nas and Falaq and that's it. I bothered to spend an hour every day to learn the other surahs like Waqi'ah and Yasin and Rahman and Haqqa and Ra'ad and Ibrahim and Bani Israel and Insan. When he was praying the 2 rak'ah, he finished, he wanted to die facing the Kaaba, correct? Isn't that all our wish? So when he wanted to die, he looked towards the Kaaba, he says, وَجَّهْتُ وَجْهِ لِلَّذِي فَطَرَتْ سَمَوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Correct? I face my Lord to the originator of the heavens and the earth. His last words were meant to be this from the Quran. Hajjaj said, don't let him face the Kaaba. Humiliate him. Turn him away from the Kaaba. If you turn him away from the Kaaba, you'd think he doesn't have an ayah for the Quran, true? Because if he's facing the Kaaba, he says, وَجَّهْتُ وَجْهِ لِلَّذِي فَطَرَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. When he turned him away, do you know what ayah he came out with? And to the Lord belongs the east and the west. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. You know what Hajjaj did? Hajjaj said, well, if he wants to turn that way, he tried to quote وَجَّهْتُ وَجْهِ, turn him towards the left. He said, and to the Lord belongs the east and the west. So face him to the ground. You'd think it was over, correct? Then he says, from you we created, and to you we will return, and from it we'll raise you again. When you have the Quran, your memory becomes a fortress. You face me the Kaaba, I think of the originator. You face me to the left, to him belongs the east and the west. You face me to the ground, from it he created me, and to it he returns me, and from it he'll raise me alive. 15 days Hajjaj didn't sleep because of these 3 ayahs. You know what he'd shout in his sleep? He'd shout, what was I doing attacking Saeed bin Jubayr? He went insane. Hajjaj bin Yusuf, the fortress, went insane. 15 days every night he can't sleep. What did I do? Because he saw the memorizing of the Quran come out in power. A man had principles, he had honor. Wherever he faced, he remembered Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why, without a doubt, you can have a man lying on the ground and his enemies can all surround him. Yet while he has the Quran memorized, his enemies are in fear. Even if you had many arrows on his body, while he has the Quran memorized, there is no one who can attack him. Even if they came with their shoes and hit his head when he lay on the ground, correct? Even then, you may hear the Quran from his lips. Even when they bring their knives and stab him in his thigh, even then you hear the Quran on his lips. You know what each one of them said when they came to behead Imam al-Hussein on the 10th of Muharram? There was one line all of them repeated. Because for a couple of hours he lay on the ground on the 10th of Muharram. And they would come and attack him, but none would dare to behead him. Many tried, but none would dare. Why? They'd say whenever we'd come near his mouth, as we're about to behead him, we'd hear the Quran being recited from his lips. It's as if he wasn't dying. No, it was them who were dying. He was remaining alive. For while the Quran was being recited from his lips, there is no way any of them could have killed him, because his principles could never die. May Allah give patience to Sayyidah Zainab when she saw Shimr sit on his chest on the 10th of Muharram.